Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Also, for fantasy sports on FanDuel, right now fantasy basketball is underway. To save money, the promo code is Dwyer777. Restrictions apply. You know, in life, there's a bias toward height, right? If you look at the presidents of the United States over the years, you're going to find out that they have been disproportionately tall guys. Barack Obama today is well over 6 feet tall, right? People seem to connote height with wisdom, decision-making, ability, right? Now here, online, we're gamblers. We want to take advantage of any misperception, any bias, such as this one. And it applies in this fight between Jessie Vargas and Manny Pacquiao, right? For some reason, we look at shorter guys and we feel that somehow that shorter guy is going to be at a disadvantage, right? Even though the sport, time and time again, has shown us that sometimes shorter men with certain skill sets are the ones who have the advantage. Now, what I want to do, you've heard me here online over the years use the phrase the pocket, right? Let's bring a three-dimensional side to the idea of the pocket. Right? This is not American football, where the pocket is between the tackles, right, behind the line of scrimmage. In boxing, let's define the pocket as the space in front of you with a height dynamic. In other words, the average height fighter. And that average height's going to change depending on division. Right? The pocket would be where you would expect the average height fighter to be as you're fighting them. Right? Understand there's a height dynamic to the pocket. If you don't expect the guy to be coming from down low, then a guy right in front of you who's coming from down low would be outside of the pocket. Right? Fighting low is a skill. By fighting low, what do I mean? I mean a guy who can duck down, bend at the waist, drop several inches off of his height, and still bring his game with him. Now, this Manny Pacquiao fight has a huge height dynamic that you need to be aware of. Jessie Vargas is 5'10". Manny Pacquiao, according to BoxRec.com, is 5'5 and a half. Right? Jessie Vargas fights predominantly upright. Look at his fights. Manny Pacquiao, when he's at his best, ducks down, fights low. This is while he's already coming in low. Now, certain fighters have had success against Manny Pacquiao, right? I'm one of those loons who has yet to see the fight involving Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez where I thought Pacquiao won the fight, right? I've seen all four fights. Every fight I've thought Marquez won. Understand, Marquez is 5'7". Right? Pacquiao's not below him because Marquez himself is shorter. Right? Let me offer, in fact, a novel theory. Is it possible that Manny Pacquiao has a bigger advantage against taller fighters than he does fighters his own height? Right? taller fighters don't quite know, especially guys who are upright, don't quite know how to deal with a guy who's boxing lower down on a different plane, who's sudden as it is. So Chris Algieri, master boxer, is caught cold several times in that fight. You would have thought Algieri had no defense, right? Because the angle of the punches are coming up at him, and Manny Pacquiao, here's a big secret, carries a big punch, right? Pacquiao used to be a knockout puncher. Now, it's an odd dynamic in this fight because I do feel that Jessie Vargas, in the pocket, when Jessie's in the pocket against an opponent who's in the pocket, Vargas is gifted. He's, to me, a very good pocket fighter. The problem in this fight is that Manny Pacquiao is almost never going to be in the pocket because of the heights, right? If Manny just bends a little bit, even when Manny is right in front of Jessie Vargas, he's going to be below the pocket, right? The pocket's this area up here to me, right? Fighters who can come in low, they're below the pocket because they're not what a Jessie Vargas is expecting. He's expecting to fight a tall guy like him, Josecito Lopez, right? When he fights a shorter guy, Timothy Bradley, his lone loss, he has some problems. So here you have a guy who, in my opinion, would have an excellent chance of beating more highly regarded fighters his height. Jessie Vargas is underrated, folks. But to me, style-wise, Manny Pacquiao is the wrong opponent for him. So, at the risk of sounding completely ridiculous, after looking at a few of these films, let me just say, Jessie Vargas in this fight only has a puncher's chance. In other words, what Vargas is going to have to do is to walk Pacquiao into a right hand, just like Juan Manuel Marquez did. Folks, that's going to be very hard for a guy who's 5'10". That's also going to be very hard knowing that Pacquiao has already experienced that and is going to be a little bit more aware as he leaps in the pocket. Let me say this too about Juan Manuel Marquez. People need to understand. Number one, great fighter, right? He's a future Hall of Famer. If he retired today, he gets in the Hall of Fame as soon as he's eligible. Number two, many people believe that the right hand was a lucky punch. What I want people to do is to revisit that fourth fight, right? Marquez drops Pacquiao before the right hand that ends the fight, right? That's the second knockdown in the fight. That's after, right? 4 fights against Manny Pacquiao where Marquez was able to see Manny Pacquiao and observe Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's best moment in that entire set of fights, his best round, was the very first round of the very first fight against Marquez. And even a master boxer like Marquez could not handle Manny Pacquiao's speed, Manny Pacquiao's suddenness. He's dropped several times in that first round. The first time you see Manny Pacquiao, because of the angles, Because of the speed, Pacquiao has some of the fastest hands in the sport of boxing. Because of the power and unexpectedness of that straight left. And let's remember, Manny's not just fast, he's a southpaw. Even the fighter who had the best run against Manny Pacquiao over multiple fights could not figure out the timing. Right? Let's go to the Floyd Mayweather fight. Understand, Mayweather's 5'8". Mayweather can fight small. Even Floyd Mayweather, defensive genius, had problems with Manny Pacquiao early in their fight. The best stretch for Manny Pacquiao against Floyd Mayweather is in the first 4 rounds of his fight against Mayweather. So, what's going to happen in this Jessie Vargas fight, in my opinion, is that Pacquiao is going to jump out to a lead. 3 rounds, 4 rounds, right? Let's just say, unless Vargas catches him, in my opinion, by the start of the 5th round, Manny Pacquiao will have won at least 3 of the first 4 rounds. Folks, let's get the dynamic. That's going to be a 2-round lead by the fighter who's loved by the judges. You and I know the way this works, right? Pacquiao is the box office cash cow in this fight, right? As fighters call it, Pacquiao is the A-side of this fight. Now, if Pacquiao legitimately jumps out to a lead, right, and does so with crowd-pleasing things like hand speed, that dazzle, right, power, a David-Goliath dynamic. Understand, even though Pacquiao's the cash cow in the fight, visually, he's going to be the shorter man bringing it to the taller man. Right? If Pacquiao jumps out to a lead, this is if Vargas is lucky enough not to get knocked down. Like Juan Manuel Marquez was knocked down early. Like Ricky Hatton was knocked down early. Right? If Vargas is fortunate enough to still be on his feet, the best he can do if he's not knocked down after 4 rounds, in my opinion, is to be down by 2 rounds. You and I know at that point some judges are going to check out. The crowd is going to be on Pacquiao's side. All Pacquiao's going to have to do, and guys with blinding hand speed do this, right, is flash some hand speed. For the remainder of the rounds, he'll be banking every round. Right? So Vargas's only hope, and he is a master boxer, is to either catch Pacquiao on the way in, right, like Marquez did, right, with a right hand, or to catch Pacquiao, and Vargas did this his last fight, catch Pacquiao on the way out, right? In other words, survive the ambush. Then as Pacquiao backs away with his hands down, catch him on the way out. If Pacquiao's prime Pacquiao comes in, hits him, then ducks out or ducks to the side, Vargas is finished. If I had one outcome to predict here, just one option, it would be to take Manny Pacquiao to win this fight. Right? One. If I had one long shot play, this is a long shot play, right? This would be the hedge to Pacquiao simply to win. That would be Vargas by KO. If the fight goes the distance, and I know Vargas has a judge-friendly style, right? Vargas has won some fights. The Alec Verde fight that I thought he lost. Obviously, the judges see him parrying shots and stuff, and something translates to the judges that doesn't quite translate on film, right? Just understand, though, that because Manny's not going to be in the pocket, because Manny is the more explosive puncher, the faster puncher, the crowd favorite, because Manny is loved, if this fight goes to a decision, I think it's Manny Pacquiao's. In sum, I think Pacquiao wins this fight. I think Pacquiao picks up a title here. If the odds allow, I'll hedge the play with Vargas by KO. I think Vargas's only chance is a right hand. He's fighting a southpaw. It lines up. A right hand thrown either as Pacquiao jumps into the picture, like Marquez dropped Pacquiao, or as Pacquiao tries to back away after a jump in. Other than that, I personally feel Jessie Vargas has no chance of winning this fight. I think Pacquiao, in my opinion, because of the styles, has a good chance at a stoppage. Right? I like Manny Pacquiao to win this fight. That's how I see it. The only hedge I see is Vargas by KO. Right? Let me know how you see it. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. I think Pacquiao is back. Let me also point out too, I've said in an earlier video, I think Pacquiao beats Canelo. Right? Boxing needs to be careful here. Because if Manny Pacquiao still has the foot speed and still has the suddenness, without Marquez being willing to fight him, and without Floyd Mayweather there, you're looking at a Manny Pacquiao who could well run through the welterweight division. Right? To me, the person who would have a shot on him would be Shawn Porter, because he'd have to be able to match Pacquiao's foot speed and suddenness. Anyway, that's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. Let me also say too, and I've said this in an earlier video, Pacquiao relies on timing, speed, precision. Right? Fighters do get old overnight. If Pacquiao looks rusty and is missing the speed, the precision, then he'll no longer be Manny Pacquiao. Anyway, that's how I see it. Let me hear from you. Thanks for stopping by.